Yo! Video games.
And then like I just walked up and like, and then after a couple hours, just walked up and killed it immediately. I was like, hey, whoops! You just had that one run.
That's not punishment. Oh, a different punch.
Boss kills it. When it does its big, I don't know, meteor nuclear attack. Yeah, the frames go. Brrr. Frame rate go brrr on PS5. Visual cluster the boss.
Yeah, with some of the most difficult dodge timing in Souls history. Like, that fight is absolutely insane. Some of the hardest fight it's not, and the thing is, it didn't even end up taking me that long. It took me less time to beat last boss Elden Ring. I don't want to spoil it. Last boss Elden Ring DLC than it did even like some Bloodborne bosses when I first fought them. But I mean, New Game Plus, you know, no shield, have to dodge. I think I was at Skadoo 16 or 17. Skadoo.
Are you Jack Black?
No, that's the name of it. There's a thing in Elden Ring called Skadoo Fragments.
Yeah, I was Skadoosh 15.
Look at Jack Black over here. Skadoosh.
Yeah, I think I was Skadoosh 15. I got
But
like
new game, right? You didn't start over?
I never New Game Plus that.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, did you New Game Plus? Why would,
So were you like
why would I do that?
200 something?
No, I was like 180, 170,
okay.
180. Roundabouts. Because you don't get any levels. You get like no XP doing anything in like the DLC.
Oh, I block low.
I mean, you kind of do. I got like maybe 4 or 5 levels.
You just gotta kill dudes.
They give you nothing. You know, every time I need to go up a level, I go back to that.
I think I went from...
I go back to that Blood River and get levels from that.
Yeah.
That was giving me more than bosses. So I feel like the last 3 bosses gave me like a level up.
I think they're mispronouncing it on purpose.
Skadoo?
Yeah.
No.
Scardu.
It's Shadu.
No, it's literally spelled out Skadoo. Spelled out that way. It's pronounced something in like a different like language. Technically like shadow, like Shadoo, like
Right.
Shadow. But if you look at it, it says Skadoo.
Skadoo. Those Skadoosh levels. You gotta get your Skadoosh up.
Yeah, I got pretty good levels. I think I went from like 160 something to over 200 in the DLC.
Oh yeah?
Just from DLC XP. And I don't think I ever really grinded the dickheads in the river. Maybe I did a couple of times.
Man, it's so easy to do though. Like you get a couple runs, you get a level.
I think I did it for upgrade mats. I needed money for upgrade mats.
Oh yeah, that too. Oh
Save
yeah,
my
all the time.
ATM.
Go
Yeah.
there and it's like, brr. You use like the sword from the sword you get from beating the base game and just do the big light wave attack.
Sure.
Yeah, that's my
Kill all
ATM.
sleep.
No, I need to upgrade this weapon. Let
Shoot
me go to
one
the
bow at a
ATM.
T-Rex bird, it runs off the cliff. Get like 11,000 off that. Wave of gold. Oh yeah, I don't remember going up very many levels. I remember things were like not giving me that much XP.
Yeah, but I have like a weird mentality when it comes to like new Souls content, where it's
What?
like everything I see I'll kill once.
I was spending a lot of money too on new weapons upgrades and stuff. Like I'd get like a new weapon and I'd upgrade it fully or upgrade most of it.
Yeah,
I would waste a lot of the money on that.
I think I like Ancient Dragon upgraded like 5 different weapons, and I did the other like plus 25 to a couple.
Yeah.
And I only ended up really using like 3 or 4 weapons.
I liked Ray, whatever dual blade thing. That was really fun. Then the big side quest one where you get the staff.
Wow, he went right under that.
Pretty far.
So I did have one criticism at the end of Elden Ring, and how I actually like, in some ways, the open-endedness of a lot of the fights and the bosses, especially in the DLC, at times it was incredible, and other times it was like a detriment. Where it's like, it almost feels like you want me to play this way, and I don't want to.
No, 100%. That is the way I felt about the DLC.
Yeah, and in some points, like a lot of Souls games aren't that way, where they like allow like a wide variety. Granted, I still did it, but it felt like the game was heavily like, okay, if I just did this would be so much easier. And in a lot of other Souls games or Souls experiences, Bloodborne included, that doesn't really exist, you know? But it's because Elden Ring is so vast. right? There's just so much shit you can do. There's an impossible amount of combinations of weird shit. They'll never be able to account for everything. And that's why I kind of like, you know, some of the boss fights to a degree, obviously in Bloodborne and like Sekiro, where they're designed for this. Like these fights are pretty much for this, and you're gonna have the fight the way they sort of designed for it, and you have a few different ways you can try it. You know?
Yeah, it does everything about the DLC kind of like the whole Skadoosh system to me was just so.
It's an interesting choice.
Why?
Yeah.
It's like, well, people will be over leveled. That's on them. That's on the player. If you fucking walked into the DLC at level 400, you can't complain about it being too easy. That's fucking your fault. You did that yourself.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing of the Skidoo. Even if you are 400 on New Game, it scales. And they did the same thing in Dark Souls 3, where suddenly all the enemy HP and all the damage you take will scale. They're gonna fuck you up.
Well, I didn't like the fact that it felt like killing enemies was pointless because everything's scaled. So your level means nothing. It's about how many Skadoosh pieces.
Skadoosh!
Yes.
Because it's basically
that's priority.
There's 50 Skadoosh pieces, and they give you back about. I don't know if you know. There was like within a week they gave you. They actually changed it.
Yeah. So funny enough, my entire playthrough I played on the preview event build, and my game never updated.
I beat it before the update.
Yeah.
So the Skadoosh levels were
they scaled them up. They made them like powerful at the start, and they scale up again.
Before it's like it's 5% per level.
Per
Right, and then they scaled it up to like 7%, and then 3% for the later ones.
Yep.
So they scaled it to make like the early levels better.
Yep.
But
it was, and that's honestly a good patch. That's a good call because so many people, dude. The game was being like mixed reviewed on Steam because it was so hard. It's like.
And I don't even think the challenge was a problem. It was just more kind of like, all right, so I built myself up. I did all this crazy shit, and you're like, and the game is like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, that's the thing with Souls DLC from Bloodborne. Well, effectively, Sekiro doesn't count, but Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring approach the DLC the same way, where they kind of like want you to treat it like it's a new game, but you have all your gear. But we're gonna make it so hard. Like if you begin like if the game is difficult again.
Yeah.
That is their approach, straight up. And this is arguably like the hardest DLC I think they've put out. I think this in comparison to Bloodborne. But there's some really hard shit in Dark Souls 3 as well. Again, hard to compare because if you're on New Game Plus, New Game Plus 7 or 8,
right?
There's dudes like Peeve. I don't even know if he's beaten a chat. Do we know? Who's like a Souls veteran. He just plays Souls games like crazy. And he is playing New Game Plus 7. He's been fighting the last boss fight for a week. He's put in like over like 80 or 90 hours into it, and he hasn't beaten him yet. It's that hard.
I'm gonna be honest, like
not yet. Jesus Christ!
Designing a last boss, a singular fight that takes you over 2 hours. I'm not even sure if that's considered good game design at that point.
Wow, depends on how good you are, though.
Jesus Christ!
But that's the point of Elden Ring is that he's specifically only using his desired build the way he wants to do it.
Okay.
You can change that.
Right. No, and
he's level locking himself to a certain level as well. He's like stops at 200.
There's a video. People have done it like level 1, like naked too.
Well, on new game, that's not that bad.
Right.
Yeah, because relatively speaking, when you get to like New Game Plus, all the properties fucking change. Mm-hmm. It's like a 30 to 60% difference of damage and mitigation. Yeah. And then poise is like off the charts.
Well, there's a dude. I saw a video where a dude he built this mega armor tank build.
Okay.
And he goes in and he pops the rejuvenate, like the rejuvenate, not the rejuvenate.
Chad, help me!
Just life comes back gradually spell.
Yeah.
Back
he
one,
walks
two.
in this big tank armor. He's
what do I do here, Chad? What do I do after that?
He just swings a ball and he kills him. And the thing he does no damage to the dude. And like the damage is like a tiny pip that goes right back from the spell.
That's crazy.
Rejuvenating. And then he does the big nuke attack. It goes down to 50, but then it comes right back.
That's crazy.
And he just walks up to his dude.
Too much shit.
He doesn't have to.
Okay.
He doesn't do anything.
Oh boy.
Was he even using a shield?
No, it was an armor. It was just like the heaviest armor,
Nunchucks?
heaviest spell armor, like talismans or whatever.
Wow.
And he pulled out this big mace thing, ball and chain, and would just swing it around like a helicopter.
Huh.
He didn't have to think. He literally brain dead, walks up to the last boss and just kills him like that. Because he was whatever level, with whatever talisman, with whatever armor, with whatever build, just completely like, like base go brrr. I was like, well, that exists. That is something you can do, I guess.
Moore's armor. Ah, okay. No, I had some of that.
Oh, come on, I should over.
Too many combinations. There's just too many ways to approach. Almost like it's honestly one of the game's biggest strengths, and also I think it's a very minor detriment. It does, but I think the value it brings to the game and everybody with their goofball build, you know, is one of the best parts of it, because there's more like goofball builds of just crazy shit in Elden Ring than any Souls game, by a ton.
Right, because there's so much talisman,
so much shit that lets you modify.
Hello? What?
Yeah, I went mage build to beat him, because like the thing is my build that I beat the whole base game. Everything in the DLC up to the last boss. The last boss was not going to be it was just not going to be possible to do with what I had, which was like a 25 flamberge build. It was a frost bleed build.
Super. I fucking mashed the shit out of super. That was a. Never mind.
It was physically impossible to beat the last boss with the build I had done everything else in the game with.
Yeah.
Because when you get to the second form, he attacks.
I mean, you could. It would just take 3 to 6 hours to learn every pattern of movement and then appropriate.
I don't even
dodge.
know, because like he's so fast on that second form.
Oh, I did it. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes a long time. And it's frustrating because you spend like 3 hours perfecting the first phase and you barely get any time with phase 2. Oof. So then you finally get like an hour to an hour and a half of getting your ass kicked in phase 2. And you're like, oh, I finally dodged something. I can actually dodge this, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, apply that to the next time, remember it.
You should see my winning run. I hit him 6 times and he dies.
That's crazy.
One of them's a whiff too, so it only does like splash damage. I hit him twice, second form, and then he starts, I just 1, 2, 3, and he dead. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, everyone has a phase 2 tactical nuke. Tactical nuke incoming! Every character, every fucking boss enters phase 2. Tactical nuke incoming, and you have to dodge some massive fucking explosion. Yeah, that's normal. That is officially like, you know how like Elden Ring's big thing was that in the base game every enemy was like,
Yeah.
That was you know, and in the DLC everyone's just fast as fuck now.
Yeah.
And they tactical nuke you on phase 2.
Yeah, my favorite part of the DLC was the map. The map was great. It wasn't Caelid. It didn't have anything like.
Oh yeah, every zone was gorgeous.
Right, everything was well, everything was pretty. That wasn't a fortress. The fortresses.
But the fortresses are beautiful too.
The fortresses look like the same fucking fortresses from Demon Souls.
Castle Keep was cool.
They're like the same goddamn thing. Like the one
held back.
The only part that was cool was like the inside where they had that library and all the like monsters.
Yeah, that's Castle Keep.
I mean, like just the ramparts and the outskirts and all, doing all that.
Yeah, like lowering the water and all that crazy shit.
You're allowed.
Like this shit looks Jesus Christ. But like
it's the level design, you know. It's like how it opens up.
Did you get to the really pretty part? Well, you had to, because you had to kill the rock.
I killed every member.
The thing, yeah. But there's like that part where you get in this kind of rainforesty or whatever. It's really beautiful. It's colorful.
Is it the one that's the floating in the sky place?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. It's like the last area you get to before.
Yeah, you fight like the bug queen and then.
Yeah. It's cool. So you didn't go to the Cerulean Coast?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you found it. And did you find the place beyond the Cerulean Coast, like the red place? It's essentially Cerulean Coast, but all the flowers are red.
I saw it, but I was doing
Jesus Christ.
side quests.
Did you eventually find Mikola's hometown?
Look how much help I have.
Which hometown is hers?
It's a village. It's a small village.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's the only time in any.
There were villages. I don't know what's what.
You would know.
Yeah.
It's the only time in any Souls games, and this is a minor spoiler, but you know. You're going through this one area, you're looking for this finger quest.
Yeah.
And then you start hovering toward this other direction, and up on this hill, like the lighting changes, like this gleam of light comes in, and then like some pigeons fly away, and the music changes, and it's like, whoa, what the hell?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And it's
like,
that has never happened in a Souls game. A place that you actually feel safe.
Well, there was a couple places where it's like, oh, it's really pretty flowers and shit.
Yeah.
Like there's the other part where the 2 sentinels, the horseback dude show up. Before that spot is like this really gorgeous flower field spot and stuff. So
Yeah.
I like the map. The map was really good in the DLC.
America's hometown, not Mikola. Same shit. It starts with an M, ends with an Ella or an Aka. So yeah, it's like it's the only time in a Souls game I was like, oh, I'm safe here. I'm like actually safe here. Like and it gave me that impression. It was like, and I never felt that because in all Souls games, your safe area always gets corrupted.
I'm around.
Something bad always happens.
There's also the kind of thing with Souls games that does have this sort of feeling where it's like it's part of the design, where it kind of like everything's oppressive, but it also feels like, okay, well, here's another thing I would actually like to see from Soft Tackle in another game. Maybe not having a game be set after the cataclysmic event. Because every Souls game is like after something terrible, like big world-changing event has happened. And then it's like, the world's basically in post-apocalypse mode. You usually do one thing in the middle that does like the big altering thing in the middle, and then that's... But it's like everyone's just kind of like, there's nobody there. Most everything will kill you. So I would like to see... I like to be there when shit goes down.
You want a friendly town.
Well, I would like to see a town and then it get fucked up.
Yeah.
Like to feel something for it rather than...
Fuck you!
Here's a town, it's full of zombies, okay. What if we could change it? I don't know.
There's a time of seeing the same shit.
I'm tired of their dark fantasy shtick. Like Bloodborne is more interesting to me because it's Victorian era.
Sekiro, you might really like Sekiro.
Yeah, Sekiro.
You never played Sekiro, son?
A little bit.
Huh.
Sekiro has fucking awesome level design. Fucking awesome.
Actually, probably he hasn't already. You just didn't like it?
And it's got like insane mobility and movement too. It's like the most freedom.
Sekiro is like you're locked to the katana. It's not.
No, it's only one weapon.
Yeah, it's not a build game.
It's not a build game.
Ah, gotcha.
It is all about figuring out timing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sekiro is the most linear of all of their games.
Yeah, it has like a stamina gauge too, right? Where like you break.
No. Well, there's a poise gauge, like
Poise
enemy poise.
Right.
But in terms of attacking, no. Like dodging, attacking is completely free movement. So it's like one of the only games that does that, where it's like, oh, you're just allowed to move and attack freely.
Right.
But you have to manage your poise versus their poise.
Right.
Yes.
That was the beginning of it. Now all games have it.
Fucking shit, dude. I sidestepped that.
You know what? That
no
reminds me of
level
that other game that we played over at Summer's Games Fest. The one that.
Oh no! That game is Phantom Blade is heavily inspired. It has some elements of Souls games, but it does not really play like a Souls games. It plays more like a Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
And they specifically said that. They said if there's one thing that the director loves, he does not like Souls combat, but he loves Souls levels. He loves level design.
He told me that straight to my face. I almost high-fived him.
It was weird because that's what I've always felt, where it's like, yeah, I love Bloodborne and shit, but is the combat in Souls games like pinnacle? No, it's good. It's good, but it is not the best. Neo has significant combat, but Souls games have way better enemy design and level design. Which is where that's primo. Level design and enemy design, primo.
I think this is where Phantom Blade and Stellar Blade, a lot of blades, are gonna shine. Is because they're trying to be like Souls games, but with better combat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To a degree.
I'm actually really excited for Phantom Blade.
It looks fun.
Yeah, a lot of blades.
He was like, I like the Souls.
Good movie.
He's like, I like the Souls like maps, but I don't like Souls.
Liza P as well. Liza P is literally just a mix of Bloodborne, Dark Souls, and Sekiro.
Yeah.
All their mechanics and with just like expansion on it. Even the arm shit is just Sekiro
I
stuff.
personally like Liza P the most out of any of those games. Of that subgenre, I like Liza P the most.
Yeah,
it was the most intriguing because it was more Bloodborne.
It's my game of the year.
And I love the parry system in that game.
Yeah.
Some people were like pissed, especially with the beta, the demo, where like the dodge was kind of.
They changed it though. That's such a weird complaint.
They changed it.
Dude, I dodged most attacks in that game. I did not parry everything.
They literally flipped the switch and just made dodge like good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and then but I didn't even care because the fact that Liza P was like,
that's safe.
You can parry everything. Oh, the enemy does a red attack. No, you can still parry that. It's just you have to perfectly time the parry.
Yeah.
You have to do a perfect parry, otherwise it won't work. And I'm like, okay, great. So it's
me or you?
Everything's parryable. Yes.
Go to character.
I can't push it in.
What? Why? You would probably love Sekiro Summons. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Is that you just parry every attack. You have like a really good parry and another one, and it like the characters have a main life bar, but if you parry stagger them twice, they're dead. They just fucking die. So it kind of requires you just to like bing, bing, bing. It's like DDR. Like Sekiro is the closest to just like pattern recognition, beat recognition. See this, bing, 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 bing. Wait for this, stab, avoid, swipe, jump, full counter. Like and we even saw some of that in Phantom Blade. That carries directly over from Sekiro.
Does Liza P have more leaning towards Stellar Blade combat, or does it lean more towards Souls combat?
I'm playing on Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade has Souls combat.
Okay.
Yeah. So
No, I'm talking about Liza P.
Yeah, Liza P has Souls combat.
Okay.
So does
For
Stellar
sure.
Blade.
And so does Stellar Blade. Souls style.
Mm.
And what we're saying is that Phantom Blade doesn't really. Phantom Blade kind of leans a bit more towards Ninja Gaiden, with some sprinkling of Soul stuff in other areas.
Because I'm getting more of... So, combats are different. You got Stellar Blade, you got DMC, you got Liza P, you got...
Stellar Blade is more Souls-like.
Yeah.
More Souls-like with, like, flashy Souls.
It's we thought the foundation was going to be a Devil May Cry. It's not. Instead, it is like a bit more intentional dodge parry timing.
Right.
You know?
Jeez, and there's so many others. There's like Neo, then you have Bayonetta, and like all these different fighting styles of gaming.
Bayonetta's a bit closer to Devil May Cry, and yeah, everything's eventually going to boil back to DMC in some way.
Right.
Because it's like the foundation.
Bayonetta, DMC, Metal Gear Rising, those are character action games. And Stellar Blade...
Was DMC the first to do it?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
The other one, God damn it, Onimusha.
Fruit. No.
Yeah.
Onimusha's not. Onimusha's a Resident Evil game. Do you remember it?
Yes, I remember doing good combat in the game.
Right, but Onimusha is a Resident Evil game.
I mean, it had the same elements of you defeated the enemy and then you bring in the souls.
No. Like it is a fucking static camera game where you walk around like a tank, like in Resident Evil, and you instead of shooting, you just attack.
Yeah.
And then when enemies die, you suck their souls, and you get some special moves.
Yeah.
Like the special moves are literally guns. If you go play it again and just think, oh, I'm just playing Resident Evil, but my gun is a sword.
Right.
It is just that.
Melee Resident Evil. Yeah.
It's good.
And then DMC upped the ante with air combos and shit like that.
Yeah, DMC was actually true 3D. It was actually like the environments are 3D, the combat is full 3D, like...
I thought DMC 1 was static background.
No,
DMC
1 is the beginning.
Camera stays in one. The camera moves, but it is like
true 3D.
Yeah, actual 3D.
Mission Gaiden. A lot of people, I mean, the company just said we're not doing it anymore. It's kind of weird since it was it a big seller? I don't know.
Initially, but like 3 was such a fucking... 3 was such a debacle for them.
That they said, fuck it.
Yeah, because they had 3, came out, did terrible. Nintendo literally paid for an upgrade to it, and then they put the upgrade back on other systems. It still didn't do any good because it was a Wii U game. And then they had a spin-off that sold terribly.
Well, it probably sold bad because it was only on one system.
No, well then they brought it to the other systems again, but it's still like Razor's Edge.
But by that time, nobody cared, you know?
Right, it's like, well, it was poisoned so thoroughly that even when they got to the Wii U version, it's like, yeah, but it's a Wii U, nobody's buying it. And then they bring the Wii U version to other consoles, and nobody cares, it's been too long. They have a spin-off, sells terribly because it's a piece of shit.
Damn. I don't know how you really feel, so.
And lo and behold, here we are, Ninja Gaiden's dead.
Damn.
Ninja Gaiden Hayat.
That was a fun round.
Which Ninja Gaiden was Ninja Gaiden Z, right? It's called Z.
Oh no. When we play Blade Warriors, it controls like hot shit. We've tried it on YoVideogames like several times.
Yaiba Z. Ninja Gaiden Yaiba.
Yaiba Z.
Yaiba Z. Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z. Piece of shit game.
Damn. What's a better name, chat? YoVideogames or Skadoosh?
Chop!
Oh my god.
Open hand foot slap.
Who made Ninja Gaiden? Team Ninja. But Yaibo is made by Spark Unlimited,
Oh no, no side stuff.
the prestigious developer of Lost Planet 3.
Oh no, that was a big punish. Big kick!
I was in the animation. I was in the animation.
Hey, this Strider's awesome.
Thank you.
It's the best Strider.
It is.
It's better than mine.
Classic Strider. Okay,
class-
you have
classico.
like
Genesis Strider, you mean?
yeah, like even like Marvel 2 Strider. He's not wearing crazy tons of armor.
Oh, buddy.
You have Edgelord's Strider, like cool armor. Marvel 1 Strider. Disrespected.
I know. That's why I'm gonna get him.
Just getting away with it, like fucking leaving his foot out.
The Ninja Gaiden come back? Nope. Not according to the devs.
Nope. Ninja Gaiden and DOA are effectively shelved at the moment.
All right.
Yeah.
What's Tecmo working on?
A lot of things. Not those.
Are they too good for that? They're too good.
Games that sell way better. All their Dynasty Warriors games, all their crossover projects. Oh.
Did it Strangers of Paradise?
Yes.
It certainly did.
That's okay. That's actually. Always, when I hear Tecmo, I always think of this like old ass Nintendo company, you know, like
Yeah. Tecmo
Bowl. You remember that
Bowl.
shit? And fucking original Ninja Gaiden
Tecmo Bowl, the best football game ever made.
ever made. Damn, dude. Okay, I need to know what the fuck you're doing. That's.
I'm gonna show it to you guys so much eventually.
flipping and he's flipping
Here's the
and
thing:
flipping.
that low is safe.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you block it, you can maybe get like a wall standing 4 punish. You're not getting a big punish.
Yeah.
The only low you're getting a mad big punish from me. Block this is this one. That.
Ah.
This is my mega low.
Yeah.
But even on hit, it doesn't do anything.
Right.
My lows are kind of bad.
Yeah, on counter hit though, it fucks me up.
On counter hit, it'll lead to big combo.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
You've done-
I don't have any true launching lows.
Yeah.
Ready, go! Hut, 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 hut.
Interesting choices.
Yeah, don't they mod Tecmo Bowl with updated like stats every year?
Pink.
Fuck you. Damn it. I want to go through it. I'm feeling it. Hut, hut.
I've heard if you ignore the story, Strangers of Paradise is actually pretty good.
It's still got weird obtuseness, like Neo obtuseness. Because, you know, all the loot and everything.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Oh my god. Go too far. Too close. This guy. Quick crouch. Now attack.
Alright, Strangers of Paradise is like the Metal Gear Rising of Final Fantasy, right?
Kinda. That's a good way of putting it.
I'm kind of surprised we never saw or heard anything of a follow-up to it. Wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the games that got canceled. Hey,
You went mid.
good lord.
You went mid.
Yeah, safe mid.
Oh.
Well, I eventually, like, the more I played, the less risky.
Yeah,
You know, just go for the shit that
this
always
doesn't work, yeah.
that is just guaranteed to be okay.